All right, let's see what's nearby. And there's at least one investigation that we've picked up by mistake a bit ago. Actually, it's more of one of those like epilogue activities, and it was specifically to check out the graveyard. Oh gosh. And if we don't find it, it's this one right here, Tainted Love. So we want to go to Abandoned Farm. And hopefully in some way we'll be able to, like, invent my headcanon about how all of this technically happened before this particular point in the main story. Hello to Dawn Evil! Dawn, I hesitate to ask, but has there been any word on the job? Again, I'm hoping for good news on that. Otherwise, I hope you had a great weekend. The great thing is that once there is good news on that front, and it's like, hey, we've got a day and date. We know when things are kicking off. Then it can be all about, like, hopefully, fingers crossed, enjoying all the time that there are between. I had the interview today. It went well, and she will hear back this week. I'm, again, fingers crossed for you, Dawn. I think I've shared that I have distinct memories of the stress of being unemployed and needing to get that resolved. So let's just take one quick look. I don't think that we have any other information about this except for the fact that when we were going past... Oh, it was this one. So this was about... Right. The cobbler and his brother that was also inside his body, and then the wife, the cobbler's wife, and the brother's ex-girlfriend that were all inside the same body. 3 souls in one body. It was some nasty stuff. Lisbeth O'Hara?
We should pay our respects to our sister.
I don't know what that means. Dawn says she thinks she has it. She has the experience. It came from another company that did the same thing, and they know about the mass layoff that happened. Right, and you have somebody there that's, like, putting in a good word for you, if I remember correctly. That's very, very promising. I've sort of been trained that whenever I'm in a video game graveyard now to expect little in-jokes on the gravestones.
I feel something close.
Wait, Caleb? Wait, I'm sorry, I don't mean to break up this fight, but wasn't Caleb the cobbler? Wasn't he the guy that survived? Hold on. Yeah. Red confronted Caleb again after discovering he was inhabited by 2 ghosts, Ruth and Alexander, his wife and his brother, trapped in the same body. So I guess Caleb has passed away since then. Okay. I can't say that I'm super upset to have seen him go.
You started this, Caleb.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to not get hit here for a second.
Neither do you.
Reinforcements! devil take you!
Can't even tell which one of the brothers was the worst at this point.
Let's settle with the fact that Ruth was unlucky to have met them.
Oh, right, Lucy Barrow. Hey, that's cool. They wrote Lucy Barrow on both sides of the gravestone, once frontwards and once backwards. Just in case. Carol Luna was saying that just a year ago, he was unemployed for about a year and a half. That is stressing, yeah. I've said this on many occasions. There are times when being at work is very stressful, and I come on stream and I'm, oh boy, it was a busy day, but now let's relax with games. And then like I really mean it. Like, streaming and hanging out with you guys and doing this helps me a lot, especially after a stressful, weird day. But the thing that it is always better than, at least where I work now, the thing that it's always better than is that stress of like that unemployment, of like not knowing how to proceed. So that's why best wishes for Dawn. And now we're going to start up a regular haunting case. So we've got one pretty close here. It's a little bit outside town and also takes us to unexplored territories. Let's go check it out. Dawn is saying that it's been 6 months and they've run out of severance and savings. Yeah, I love the fact that you have other people that work there that also went through, if I'm remembering the story correctly, that also went through the mass layoffs that can attest to your spirit and skill and quality of work. I know that other people in the community are going through something similar, and I would say the same to them. I want to be careful about asking about these things, because like Dawn, you and anybody else should always be coming to say, I don't really want to talk about that on like a live stream.
I'm right here, you know.
And that is perfectly acceptable. But I also want people to know that we're interested in them and their well-being, and hopefully the good news. So we're sort of headed this way-ish. I see what you're saying. What's worse when you have work? What's worse is when you have work and still run out of savings. Yeah. Because then you have...
won't remain visible for long after I take the heart. Be quick.
When you have both the stress of work and also the stress of it not being sufficient to cover what's necessary. Oh, okay, so there's one route like there. Let's get what we can, because sometimes these don't have as many nodes as I think they will. It's not what we're here to shoot. Oh, there's another one. All right. Nope, we are still missing one. So we've got one there. We've got one on the other side. The third one could be, like, underneath the bridge somehow. Caroluna says that he's there right now and still struggling. I'm sorry to hear that, Caroluna. Hopefully, as things continue to go well at work, they will recognize your value and help you find a way to resolve that. So we can see the third one now. Oops. On a similar note, Brian has been
No roots. Just how I like it.
having a really good time with door dashing. He's been talking about that. He stopped by like Mia's stream, and I'm really glad that he's found something that he enjoys doing, because he also work has been a challenge for him, and I'm glad to see that he's found something, or hear that he's found something that he's having a good time with. Well, hold on. There's no reason not to. What do we think? Magnetite or silver? Silver in both cases. Reminds me of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, just precious minerals and metals sitting right on the surface.
Stop that spectre before it possesses the corpse.
We Highland kiss for you.
So as far as I know, we are in, I can check them. I can check the map, but I do feel like we're in a completely new part of the map. I don't remember coming across a working water wheel before this. Lucy Barrow's alehouse note. Wait, oh wait, Lucy Barrow was the alehouse? Do we know what killed her? Because she had a grave. The orders are in progress. They will arrive when they arrive. There's no need to come and pester me. Oh, and there's a thing.
Come look.
I don't think I'm allowed to come look. This feels very much like a... This might be the haunting investigation that we're here to do. So I may need to go get the actual quest before we can poke around there too much.
They never learn, do they?
Watch out. Spectre possession.
It definitely feels good to make sure that, like, to be in an environment where they go for the Spectre possession and we're able to stop it. Carolyn is saying that the pay is very standardized where he is, and within his class, he's already as high as he can be. Inner saying that don't spend it all on Legos. Oh, wait, that's Grumpy. I think it's a shame that Grumpy and or Moo do not do more Lego building streams. I want to say, wasn't it Moo? Am I remembering this correctly? She did some, like, building of, like, the Lego bouquet of flowers. Those are always so relaxing to watch. Also, if you want some saving advice, don't put all your money into small boxes, small unlocked boxes that you just leave dotted around the New England landscape. It's not a great savings plan. Enthusiastic yes from Inner, who's saying Moo needs to do more streaming. I would really love to see Moo do some more streaming. And, like, we talk a lot about Alan Wake, but, like, anything that Moo wants to stream. I really enjoyed her Serious Sam streams. I really enjoyed her, there was another stream, the Lego building stream that I just mentioned, and there was one other game that I remember watching her play a lot of. There was a bunch of Serious Sam, but there was something else. Yeah, like, just, don't invest in linen that you just leave around on the outside of your farm. You never know when a Banisher is going to walk right up and nick it. You guys, this... Was this... I feel like I started here, and I went all the way around to get here. But whatever, we're here now.
Red, I can't manifest anymore.
We might be able to shoot this one through the window, question mark?
I can manifest now.
Yeah, that went way better with Antea on our side. Interesting. I like the biggest bug streams as well. Yeah, I remember when Don't Trust the Waffles was streaming. Those were a lot of fun. I hope they will continue doing that. I remember them saying that was like last summer, wasn't it? I think that was last summer, and then it really fell off once school started. And Grumpy and Moo had said, well, they might continue once.
Mine not to make you angry.
Once they get settled in at school. I still hope for the return of that. Okay, we have a whole Blumhouse sound effect board happening in here, and there's nothing else? No.
Send help.
Wow, I have chosen every wrong way to get to where this person is.
Dear Lord, I need you now. Please, send help.
An unnecessary question, perhaps, but is everything all right?
No, I'm not all right. There are demons in the mill. This is all Haskell's fault. May his wretched soul rest in peace. His leniency brought the devil on us. Now witches will walk the land. But why are you still standing there gawking like a goose? Aren't you a banisher? I told you there are demons.
I... Tell me all about these demons and this mill.
There is a mill. It is my mill, in which I mill flour to bake my bread. In the mill, there are demons sent by the evil one.
Oh, all right. No need to be an arse about it. I'll look into it.
The mill lies past the barren fields and across the bridge. Whatever you can do to help, I would be grateful.
Will you be all right out here?
Will any of us be all right now our governor's gone? Lucy Barrow is dead, and demons walk. God has forsaken us.
I'll take that as a maybe. I'm sorry to learn the alewife has died.
Oh, don't be.
What happened to her?
Danced too close to the devil is what she did. I do not know what happened to her, but her death is not my doing, though it was I who found the body. I shall not miss her.
You will when the ale runs out. You really don't seem to hold her in your heart.
The baker and the alewife both need barley. We made a bargain, spit in hand and shaken on, to share the crop. But she broke the deal, went her own way, cut me out. No, I did not like her.
I should go.
As must I, to the hamlet, I think. God walk with you, Banisher.
So we had picked up on the way here that Lucy Barrow had died. I also
Demons
remember...
and a dead alewife. Haunting case.
Haunting case.
Yeah, time out for 1 second, because I need to remember this dude's name. This one. Perry. Okay. We've seen before that Perry and Lucy Barrows had some bad blood, and that he was
Something's here.
Hidden.
he was all manner of angry about the fact that
Something has me. Wards.
that she had better access to the barley than he did. So that's been something that's been running at the same time. I don't currently have a reason to believe that he did have something to do with like her death, but just as like a quick aside, it's a super weird move to be like, yeah, so if you didn't know, Lucy Barlow died, and I didn't do it. Just so you know, I didn't do that. Oh, and Inner was saying that apparently
Red,
one of the
I can't manifest anymore.
one of the last streams that Biggest Bug did was of the Talos Principle.
I love doing that.
I think I might specifically have not watched that because I have not yet had a chance to play the Talos Principle myself, but I would like to see those streams someday. I hope they thought to archive them. This is us getting, I didn't know that this was up here, but we will absolutely take plus 10 health points. I don't know what these guys think they're going to do. I have plus 10 health points. Sorry, we knocked that ghost out of the corpse so hard that they smashed against the wall and then fell off the cliff. Oh my goodness. Carol Luna's been running a disk defragmentation for a week? Would you run like a whole bunch of like butterfly searches on it? See how fast we can get to the beginning and then end, and then beginning and end of the drive? Yeah, Talos.
In here?
Time to work, Banisher.
Oh my, wow. Yeah, I would say that I detect something haunted. That entire building is lit up.
Is it just me or?
I felt it too.
The, Now, hold on, you can't... Oh. I was gonna say that it's pointing me in the wrong direction, but I think it's probably just pointing me on the path I need to get to the haunted building. Talos Principle is one of those things that I feel like I would feel a little bit self-conscious about playing on stream, because it would probably reveal me to be, like, very dumb. It takes me a while to work out puzzles, especially a game that is, like, a dedicated puzzle game. That, The Witness, The Outer Wilds, it's mostly a puzzle game.
Think you can take on a ghost?
Demons. Here I was expecting an audience with Legion.
Someday, maybe.
Out of stock notice. Be it known we have no grain, for which reason we have no flour, for which reason we have no bread. Perry Cottle.
No bread. Cottle never mentioned that. Something's here.
Hidden.
Letter to Perry from Clemency Gibbs. Clemency was right. She was one of the people that lived in the house that fell down the ravine when the slime came. Dear Perry, we have received your letter concerning the request for grains, but unfortunately we can only answer you in the negative. Our crops are also dried up. We have nothing left, but we are currently looking for a solution, and I'll let you know if we have one. In the meantime, hang in there. You are a talented baker, and this alewife won't stop you, not a second time. Her beer may be life-saving, but it doesn't feed people. Soon they will be clamoring for food and won't care about this witch's brew anymore. Keep the faith, Clemency Gibbs. Okay, we've got a few different quest-related items.
I felt it too.
Perry Cottle's sales ledger. Lammy Haskell. 1 loaf. Okay. So a bunch of loaves, a bunch of loaves, a bunch of loaves. Barley supply low. So yeah, these are in chronological order. So starting at the end of June, barley supply low, must find more. 630 was only one for Governor Haskell and Lucy Barlow. Then on the right page, Haskell, Walcott, Haskell, Watson, Haskell, no more barley. Yes, we sold his last one just before July 4th, and then nothing after that. So July 4th was his last loaf.
Odd times for Cottle the baker. I
And
feel a draft.
From the invisible.
Notice a lot of it sold to the
Like
governor.
the botanist. What does a baker need with all these plants?
Remember the olive bread with rosemary and sage?
I miss Rome. I miss bread.
Okay, we need to stop having a conversation with delicious, delicious bread. Test for barley substitute. Corn, expensive, and bread is too friable? I don't know what that word means. Cottage cheese and eggs. Bread rolls, convenient but not suitable for a whole community. Perhaps I could still keep it. Rye, difficult to grow, expensive, and unsatisfactory texture.
Seems Cottle was looking for a substitute for barley.
And failing. Looks like Cottle hasn't been able to do his work for quite some time.
Sack race?
You think you can outrun a ghost?
Sack race?
Wait, that was the
You
clue?
think you can outrun a ghost?
Okay. Okay, I bet Caroluna knows what this is. Phyto Lacca Decandra page. And then we've got some more Latin. 2 to 3 yards tall, large perennial root, strong stems, green or rosy, large leaves, green, bad smell, green or white flowers, a thumb in width. Fruits look like blackberry. Each part can sicken, leaves in particular cook thoroughly. Uses, roots for respiratory ailments, cataplasms, and eases soreness. And also toxic. If you were inclined to make sure that there was more barley for you and you didn't like an alewife, you might be interested in things that were toxic to solve your problems.
This looks like it was ripped from a herbarium. Phytolaica decandra.
Pokeweed. It's poisonous. I doubt he used it. I hope I'm right. We should go back to the Harrows and talk to him.
Get to the bakery at the Hamlet. So Carolina did not know that, but apparently has identified it as American.
So a baker is forced out of work.
Pokeweed.
His business partner dies mysteriously. And now the baker is haunted.
How bizarre. Still, I feel for him. He'll be desperate. Can't sustain that for long.
From his demeanor, I'd say it's too late. He's a lit fuse on a human powder keg.
Wouldn't like to be around when he goes down. They brought more friends. Let's get back up.
No!
Away with you.
Oh, she's a ghost. She can't go through the fence? Okay.
Can I join in too?
We don't see a lot of instances of Antea walking through walls. There was at least one case where she walked through a door to see what was on the other side. And also, I do feel there's an element of her, like, physically possessing Red's body when she's doing the punching and stuff, because they always seem to occupy the same space. But still, it would have been super cool if she'd been able to, like, do that Bamf teleport right through the fence. Now... Okay, I guess this is the fastest way. Let's go see this point of interest, since we're walking right past it. Yeah, I saw something over here too, but we've already... Oh! This might give us a nest silt.
An enraged specter is lurking nearby. Why not summon it?
And hello to Czar! Czar, how was your weekend? Now, were you also playing, Hold on. Enraged Spectre. No, I feel like it's Make Manifest. Were you also, in the group with App and Patikin? You guys, I get it wrong 2 out of every 3 times.
That's not the ritual I'd have used.
Did I say Helldivers 2? This weekend, App and Patikin were playing some Helldivers 2, but I wasn't 100% sure of everybody else in it because it's kind of a curious weekend. But if you were in there, Czar, I hope you had a great time. It was certainly a lot of fun to watch.
Did we miss a few?
Giving it all you've got.
Get out of there!
Nope. Have some of this.
Okay. Let's pretend that Ghost did like a Matrix dodge out of the way instead of me just missing really badly. Okay, I didn't actually notice if we got some nest silt, but that seems like the sort of place where we would have gotten some. It was App, Platt, Tuts, and Patikin. Well, I hope that you also get to play at some point, because I know that you and Patikin were having a good time with it. It was a very fun group, and a lot of very funny clips came out of it as well. Patikin was asking me about jumping into Helldivers at some point. We do have access to a code. It might be a bit, just because there's a bunch of other stuff that's happening right at the moment. Oh, nice. I didn't know that this was a tie-off. I'm always up for more shortcuts. Like, what level are you now in that, Czar? In, Helldivers 2. Oh, let me grab this stuff. I feel like that's a really strong example of, like, if you have a bunch of people that are, like, down for like seeing how far you can go. I feel like that game, it looks to me like it scales really well with like the number and level of players. And it feels like it's really held on to its popularity here in the week since its release. They keep scaling up servers and stuff. That is I think for multiplayer games, that's the only time that I start paying more attention to like what the retention rate is. Because for a single player game, I could Well, hold on. The combat might be loud. I can never tell.
Ask for help if you need it.
It does feel a little unintentional that regardless of whether or not Antea is on the field, she will remind Red that she exists. So she will personally punch to death 3 ghosts right in a row and is like, hey, can I join in? But yeah, whatever the player retention rate is, or like what's the current like PlayStation Network concurrent player count on like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that is just not of interest to me. Like how quickly people played it, whether or not they traded in when they're done, or decided to add it to their, that is completely uninteresting to me, because I haven't played it yet, and then I'm going to play it when I play it, and I will hopefully enjoy it at that time. When it comes to multiplayer games, that's where that script gets flipped real hard, because that's when it's like, for a multiplayer game, you are absolutely... So I just want you guys to know, I did not do a final attack there. The ghost that we punched past came in and took a swing at Red and Antea, and either missed or just the arc of the swing wound up killing their 2 compatriots. Which is really great. But yeah, for multiplayer games, that is where it's like if you look and you see like the Steam player count or whatever drops by 75%, that can absolutely impact your like the availability of games. So this is that's the general store. I want to go this way.
Someone is vexed behind that door.
Mr. Kato, are you here?
Closed for personal reasons. Seriously, we are absolutely going to like keep in mind that Lucy Barlow's death may have nothing to do with the hidden and ensorceraled page of poison that we found on his in his study or whatever. So it's closed for personal reasons, and as you guys can see, I'm not... So there is another path back there, but maybe we have to go up the stairs here. Up the hill, work our way around. Carol Luna is saying, by the way, speaking of... I want to see if we can go in this way. Speaking of multiplayer, I found recordings of the streams with the first group I played with in my first streams in summer 2014. Wow! And you, like, recorded those to a local drive? Yeah, we have... There's a handful of original streams, like original test streams, like Endless Legend.
Better days.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, blown up stove. Or not blown up, just not very well cleaned or maintained. Like a test stream of like...
Yes. Something's here.
Endless Legend. I remember doing that, and that was not saved. But aside from that,
close.
you can absolutely bounce back to some of the really, really, really early streams.
Takes dedication to sleep where you work. That or poverty.
My mother treated a baker once. He had the worst cough I'd ever heard. Turns out inhaling flour all day isn't good for your lungs.
Aye, and neither's poverty.
July of 1686. This is Aspen letter to Perry Cottle. My dear Perry, I'm writing this letter to you so you will take it with you to the new world and not forget the old woman I am. I'm so proud of you. You are no longer the little boy I picked off the streets. I've definitely read this. Yes, we definitely read that.
Aspen must be the woman Cottle spoke of. The one who trained him.
Perhaps he's lonely here, away from his people.
Good luck in Boston. Don't forget, I believe in you as you believe in him, Aspen.
A gift from Aspen. She loves him like a mother. Oh, it's a miserable life without bread.
The key to Lucy Barrow's sanctuary, her alehouse. Interesting thing for him to have on him.
A key hidden behind a spectral web. Why?
Or in his possession, rather. Like, there is one thing, though. How are these things in his home being hidden behind spectral webs? He's not a sorcerer. He doesn't know how to do that. If Lucy...
Anyone home? Right, well, what happened here?
There was a robbery, or someone threw a tantrum.
Wait, where is she then? Because I can't switch to Antea right now. Okay, and then I can. So we didn't finish investigating the bakery, apparently. No, I know. Is it conceivable that Lucy Barrows is framing Perry Cottle for her own death, but the evidence that she's planting cannot be seen by mortals and only by Antea? That doesn't seem... I don't know how she'd be doing that or why, but 1st June 1695. I understand not how, when there's no grain, Lucy still makes beer while I can bake no bread. If she hoards barley, I cannot find it. What can her secret be? It drives me around the stump. 5th June 1695, I've seen Lucy cutting weeds and buying fixings. I must learn more. 8th June, Lucy suspects me of spying, or so I suspect, yet she cuts weeds that have no place in the making of beer. Very suspicious. 9th June, I gave Lucy an opportunity to share her secret. She thinks me mad. I think she's lying. I know she is.
Despite the barley shortage, Lucy Barrow was brewing ale. Drove Perry mad. Sent him snooping after her.
Why would she not tell him? Food is as important as drink.
Do not touch that, you filthy thief.
That's before we talk to her, that's exactly the question that I was thinking of. She also needs to eat. Not having any bread, like the famine that comes, it's not a matter of like your business at the expense of his. It's that if we don't have enough food to feed people, everybody dies. You know who you can't sell ale to? Dead people. They don't have stomachs.
You! Who are you? What are you doing here? Wait. The Banisher McGrath? Haunted by a ghost? You must be joking.
Mistress Barrow. Glad to see you, circumstances notwithstanding. This is my partner, Antea Duarte.
Yes, pleasure to meet you, but never mind that. Perry Cottle stole the key to my alehouse. You have it. I want it back.
Why would Perry Cottle have the key to your alehouse?
He wishes to steal my business, so I hid it from him. There's nothing quite like watching a grown man soil his britches over losing a bloody key. Serves him right. The barley failed. No barley means no flour. No flour means no bread. It drove him mad. It made him mean. I don't easily scare, but he scared me. And I was right. In the end, he poisoned me.
I do have one piece of feedback. On a lot of, it's not every cutscene, it's not every time, but on some of the cutscenes like that one right there, the blocking is just super weird. Like, they know when they design the cutscene where Red and where Antea is and where Lucy is. So why is she sort of like generally drifting behind Antea's head so that you can't see her? It's just, it can't be purposeful. I'm just wondering how and why it happens.
What's your relation to Perry Cottle?
We traded. Pleasantries, foodstuffs. He baked a fine loaf. Mostly we shared the barley crop. I worked with him, now I hate him. When I offered him a fair deal, he threatened me.
He omitted to mention this.
Allow me a moment in which to come to terms with the news that the liar, Perry Cottle, failed to tell the truth.
You know how to brew ale without barley. We know this because Perry Cottle spied you doing it.
For a great baker, he makes a piss-weak spy.
Why would you not share your work?
I'll tell you this. My husband and I ran a tavern in England. He supported my ambition. Never once was he intimidated by me. When he died, I sold up and left for the New World. I was looking for peace, opportunity, wealth. I found it all. Until the curse. Everything I have, I earned with the sweat of my brow and the brains in my head, and neither man nor God shall take it from me. Perry Cottle thinks innovation, the fruit of my labour, comes from God, to be shared by all, but especially by Perry Cottle. I am a woman of enterprise, and no one drinks for free. No payment, no deal.
Oh boy.
Tell me about the poisoning.
To start, let me tell you about the baker Perry Cottle, who is as mean as he is stupid. Mean, for he would not pay me for my work. Stupid, for he poisoned me before he could get his grubby hands on it.
Are you sure he poisoned you?
We had words. He threatened me. He carried out the threat. It seems cut and dried to me. You don't believe me? See for yourself. You have the key. Go to the alehouse where I died.
Where is it?
Go north, across the bridge, past the fallow fields. But do be careful. I hear it's haunted by the ghost of the poor dead alewife.
We should go.
You should. Work to be done. Chop on.
Looks like Perry Cottle left some details out of his story. Let's go to the alehouse.
So here's an alternate idea.
Father thought I'd be angry too. He says one thing, she says the other. Hard to know for sure who's lying.
A vengeful ghost is always dangerous. I should know.
Here's an alternate idea. She thought that she had a solution to allow her to make ale without barley. The solution that she had was the weed that Perry Cottle researched out of the herbarium and found out that it was actually lethal. He saw her picking the weeds. She was using it to make the ale. She made the ale for herself and drank it, and she wound up poisoning herself because she didn't know that it was poisonous. And because she was keeping the secret so close to her vest, like she didn't want to tell anybody what she was doing or this miraculous discovery, that nobody else had the opportunity to tell her that it was poisonous. That's at least possible, because, like, I'm listening to her, like, rationale for why she wouldn't help Perry Cottle and help the community. And there's an aspect of it. By the way, hello to Ronan. Whoa, hold on. There's all sorts of things happening in chat. I looked away for a second. Czar, thank you very much for the gift subs. Sorry, quick pause here. I went to say hello to Ronan, but Czar has also gifted subs to Ronan and to Caroluna. Czar, thank you very, very much. And Patikan just raided in as well. Patikan, how was the first day of Ratchet & Clank? I think the 2016 version it was. Patikan, I hope you had a very, very good time. We're sort of between story beats here, but we won't be for very long, and I want to make sure that you don't get spoiled. But I really appreciate the raid. And Czar, again, thank you very much. I did see you say, by the way, that if I get to a point where I can play some Helldivers to hit you up. I'm hoping to do that at some point. I just hope that I land it before the before all the hype and excitement turns away. Introduce is asking how were the brothers, Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, because technically Brothers was a different game. Patikin also played that recently. But Brothers, that's a nice trim playthrough. Patikin, I would also be interested in your thoughts on the remake there. Because I played the original before we started streaming and had also thought, like you, to maybe do a replay of Brothers. I think Mia also has her series of the original one up. The remake was 2016. Yeah, so we also have that. I've not played Ratchet & Clank 2016 or the 1/2 sequels that are out for it. No, not a Rift in Time. Whatever the one that was that came out for PlayStation 5. Also have that. Intend to stream it someday. A Rift Apart, that's exactly it. Caroluna is turning in. Caroluna, thank you very much for hanging out tonight. I hope you have a great evening. Zara is also stepping away for a minute. Caroluna, if you want to see whether or not these theories are correct or are curious on how this narrative turns out, the VOD should be up a little bit later this evening. But mostly I hope that you have a very good rest. I feel like the last multiple days I have not been waking up very rested. So I hope that you have a different experience tonight. Oh, Patine's also saying that the Rift Apart is the only one that came out after the remake. I heard it was excellent.
I believe.
A playground for the devil, according to some.
Yeah, so we made a brief pit stop here not so long ago, and I was like, wait, I don't think that we're supposed to be here. Okay, so, yeah, there's a vine inside. There's a node up there. I don't know that we have any other sense of where the node is. Let me just refresh my memory on what this note says. Still in progress. There's no need to come to pester me.
We need to do this together.
So, what do we have here?
Yeah, so when we stopped by here earlier, Ante was like, Red, come look at this, but I couldn't interact with it.
Folk need bread. What do you use in place of the barley? Lucy, Mistress Barrow, please, I beseech you, tell me.
No.
Folk must have bread before they have ale.
I offered you a fair deal. You're the one who turned it down.
Then you leave me no choice. I'll have the secret. I'll not let them starve when there's bread to be had.
You missed your chance. Now go away.
Not the first time we've heard of this deal.
Doesn't change the fact that Perry was furious at Lucy's refusal.
Enough to kill. Seems unlikely.
Keep looking.
Before we read this, this looks a lot like the herbarium. Damaged herborist book. We've got this. Leaves are simple, alternate, pinnate in the first order and offset in the second order. Produces determined inflorescences. Uses: repellent against bats and insects, inflammation and pain, headache, skin disease, toothache, muscle pain, rheumatism. Then there's the torn page. Then the next page is this one. Lots of description of what this is. Young leaves can be boiled and eaten as a leafy vegetable after discarding the bitter cooking water. Palpitations, cold and water retention, wounds, asthma, or suffocation. And suffocation here might mean something different than I think it does, where you... it could be... whatever.
A book of poisonous plants, with a page torn out.
Let me guess. The Phytolacticandra page is missing.
So, there's another thing back there. And for this, I just want to double check. I don't think any of the nodes are inside, which is going to make this one kind of tricky to get, but we'll do what we can. It's not one of the nodes, but I'll take it. Patine was also saying that there were... hold on. New plan. Yep, now we can hit that. Because I was like, the animation to walk outside is going to take so long.
Let's check what was hiding under that ivy.
But the thing is, if Lucy knew that the herbs were poisonous, why would she use them unless the herbs also described how to use them in a... Sorry, the herbarium book also described how to use them in a safe way, and once he ripped out the page, then she didn't know how to do it properly, because maybe it was just like still in the experimentation phases.
Lucy Barrow was quite the force of nature.
As a widowed alewife amongst witch-hunting Puritans, she'd have to be.
Exactly.
I do want to read what Patikin was saying. I also, we should have a jog in front of us. Lucy Barrow's herbalist book. Sanctus Asper, Domesticum, Magus, Prima, Vulgaris, and Jacobae.
Well-thumbed books. Lucy Barrow's an educated herbalist.
An alewife, fierce and educated. I bet folk were intimidated. And suspicious.
We should search the mill.
Okay, I did not read this before. Lucy Barrow's experimental book. Good for rheumatism, bloating, difficult digestions or urinary infections. Honey is soft and sweet. Verbena, digestive disorders. Basil, taste and smell disappearing during brewing, not good. Blueberry are soft and sweet and good. Blueberry bread is very, very good. Strawberry, pleasant fruity taste, but need to put a lot in to be tasted, to be reworked. Coffee, if the coffee is not of good quality, the beer can be so bitter that it becomes undrinkable, to be reworked.
Those concoctions sure are inventive.
She knows her trade.
I know brewers, and this one is talented.
Deed of sale. In the year 1690, on the 15th day of June afternoon in Northallerton, North Yorkshire, witness Mr. Daniel Corbin on the sale of the tavern to the late Mr. Barrow and his widow, here present, Lucy Barrow, to Mr. Adair Bain for the sum of £12,000 sterling, done at Northallerton, North Yorkshire, 1690.
That's quite the sale. Good thing she had her husband's support. Unmarried alewives don't usually have it so easy.
All right. I want to acknowledge here as we, like, go to find the bedroom, the most likely scenario is simply that he decided to poison her. There's something about that...
I might be able to help with that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, there's like a tunnel somewhere. Let's just jump across here first. Her reasoning to not share the recipe, the barley substitute, I understand what she's saying. And also, so I just want to see if we can get up there at all. Also the fact that she,
Is it just me or?
I felt it too.
as, who was it, Eleanor Roosevelt, I think, said, well-behaved women rarely make history. She believes through her, herbalist training that she's found a substitute for barley.
Where is it?
that will allow her to make beer without the need for barley. And then if he wants access to that secret, he's going to have to pay her. And if we don't know the details of the deal, but you would think probably a percentage off of every loaf that he sells or something like that. I mean, that deal would make the most sense. This all makes sense until you consider that her goal appears to be to profit off of the starvation of others. Now, he also is profiting off the starvation of others, but that's just being a regular baker. We haven't heard any indication that he planned to jack the price of bread up by like 1,100% or something. Also, Ronan is saying... So, Patina was saying that he only ever played the original 3 Ratchet & Clank games on PlayStation 2. So I played those, and then I also played Ratchet Deadlocked, which was the 4th one, which had a greater focus on multiplayer, and it was not very good. I did not like Ratchet Deadlocked really at all. It's not that it was a terrible game, it just wasn't the sort of like... There's a very good reason it was not called Ratchet & Clank 4.
Heads up!
Try this on for size.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then on the PlayStation 3, I did play Ratchet & Clank Future, which was... I'm trying to remember if that also was like a reboot or like a remake of the first one. And there was something about it that I really didn't like very much. It looked nice, but I don't know. It's been too long since I've played that one. And then I want to say that there were 2 more, and I think it was Ronan was bringing up, like, A Crack in Time.
This door is locked.
Crack in Time was awesome. I really liked that one. That one, like, beyond the name A Crack in Time, like, it also, like, it had all of these, like, puzzle mechanics of, like, creating duplicates of Clank and stuff. It was just super interesting and well done. I had a great time with that game. And then Ronan is also bringing up, like, Tools of Destruction. We can try to climb up here, since I did find that you can, but I don't know where we're trying to get to from here.
Might be a jump to be had up behind the wheel there.
We'll have to stop it spinning first.
I'll look into that.
Okay, do I have any opportunities to interact with the mechanism that makes that go? Because I don't think I can stop the river. Maybe we push the wagon? No. Well, maybe. Steal some money. I was thinking push the wagon into the water, and then that will get caught up in the wagon wheel, and it won't be able to go. Oh no, we're in the wrong position. It would float downstream, wouldn't it? Don't see anything in here that we would shoot. Tools of Destruction sounds like a Ratchet & Clank game that I've played, but I, at the moment, am not pulling anything to mind on it at all. No. Okay. Find a way into the Barrows Mill. How do we accomplish that? It's not as simple as just shoot the axle on the wheel. Oh, no, it can't be because the wheel is just floating. The wheel's attached to nothing, you guys. I have bad news. Oh, you're planning on streaming the remake before Rift Apart? Most likely. Yeah, because I've never played it, so I would be more inclined to do that. That's a lot of spirit energy up there, but I can't do anything with that. We have to stop it from spinning, is what they want to do. And you can't shoot through the lead windows, right? No. No. Patin is enjoying it so far. Yeah, Ratchet & Clank Future. I want to say that Ratchet & Clank Future is the only Ratchet & Clank game that I remember. I had to try it a couple times, and then I'm pretty sure that I did, like, complete it, and just that one did not land with me. So, unfortunately, it's my lack of imagination. I'm not sure of all the different ways that you can stop a watermill wheel from turning. It seems to me it's jam up the fins, break the axle. If they have some sort of external brake that you can yank. I don't happen to know that. Okay, that was maybe a bit of overkill on the very last guy. Sometimes they call in reinforcements. But I have a long history of not using, like, my limit break or whatever you want to call it. And I don't want to fail to do that. So now we've come up here, and I, again, have no advice on how to stop the watermill from here. We do get to do our tie-off, though. Salmalander, thank you very much for the resubscription! Salmalander, I appreciate it very much, and I hope you're having a good Monday. Ronan was saying, I have a feeling that if Angel played a PS3 Ratchet that was middling, it was either Quest for Booty or Into the Nexus. I don't remember Quest for Booty at all. Patin looked at the Metacritic score for the remake. 85 average from critics and 8.4 from users. Yeah, the PS4 remake is the one that I'd want to play. You guys, I am a little stumped. I don't want to go talk to the baker until we have all the information. And we can't do that until we stop the wheel from spinning. This is probably a lot less complicated than I am making it out to be. Although I can't for the life of me figure out how. There's no other spirit tunnels. There's a lot of spirit swirls. We have the key to her bedroom, but we can't physically get into the bedroom. I don't see anything to shoot from this angle. Like, there's no... Usually when there's, like, a rope that has a brace or, like, an interlock of some kind that you can shoot, that's glowing bright orange. I don't see anything like that. When she said we have to stop the... Well, I think he said... I think she said we have to stop the wheel from turning, and he's like, I'll look into that. As though it's going to be something that Red does.
Can't shoot the lock. Not from here, anyway.
Right, I agree with you, Red. We can't shoot the lock. I hope it is not a bug that axle is missing. Wait, hold on. This is not a great idea, but can we ensnare it? Usually we can only ensnare ghosts, but we can also do corpses. No. I am completely serious. I'm on the verge of just looking this up. This is a puzzle, and I don't like looking up puzzle solutions, but I am really stumped on this one. I just want to double check. We cannot push or pull this wagon. Right. Because part of me wants to see, like, can we climb up to the window? And my concern is that there's a bug because the axle is not physically present and that we're supposed to shoot the axle. I don't know what a bullet is going to do against the axle on a wheel of that size, but I cannot figure it out. Now, hold on. I just saw a bunch of flashing in there. That's stuff in the background that we'll be able to search once we can get inside. Do we see anything on the fins of the wheel that I've previously failed to notice? No. Can we shoot the other side of the fins on the wheel? Maybe they break off. You would think that our cursor would turn red, but... And I joked earlier about not being able to stop the river, but there's no, like... Maybe I've been looking too high. There's nothing down here to, like, slow the river. The brook, the stream, whatever. Oh!
That works. Let's go.
That was it? Okay. Let's do that before the water backs up, which is clearly not going to happen in our video game world, but...
Well, quite the operation Mistress Barrow is running. This place reminds me of Mother Louse's over on Cheapside. Wonder how the old alewife's doing.
I'm sure she'd be glad to see you back on your feet.
She was a good friend when I needed one. I'm surprised Perry Cotto found no substitute for Barley.
Some men can't think beyond what they already know. But this, I think, is about wounded pride.
Unsent letter from Lucy. Governor, I have a particular request and I'm unsure who to contact. I would like to find an artist to paint my portrait. I do not care for anything grand, but would like a face to be put on my legacy. Word scratched. Indeed, I believe my work to be remarkable and deserving of immortalization. There are not many recognized alewives, and I believe it is time for a change. I hope you shall be able to help with my request. Alewife Lucy Barrow. Alright, we will open up the bedroom.
Look at that. It's the drunkard's jackpot.
Don't get excited.
Once upon a time, finding this lot would have made my day.
Kaz, happy Monday to you. I hope that your weekend went very well. Pending orders, June 1695, to be paid Alexander Watson. Successfully paid Fairfax Haskell, Lisbeth O'Hara, Phoebe Walcott.
Guessing those orders won't be fulfilled.
Unless Perry takes over the brewing.
Wouldn't be the first time an alewife lost her business to a man.
Oh, Ronan was saying that he missed whatever I said. Gosh, I'm not sure which one it was. Kaz, we were talking about Ratchet and Clank games, and I definitely played Ratchet and Clank Future. I just don't remember Quest for Booty or the other one that was mentioned. Tools of Destruction? Tools of Destruction I might have played. I would have to check.
Collection. Well labeled too.
Lucy Barrows is better organized than my mother.
Okay, we've got all of the things to look at. Lucy Barrow's notebook, 1st of June of this year. After many weeks of experimenting, I finally found the perfect substitute for barley. Oats. Simply oats. I'm proud of myself. Perry asked me about it. When I offered to sell the recipe to him, he turned red. How could he think that I would give it to him for free? My hard work is not part of our agreement. 7th of June, I found Perry spying on me this morning. He hid like a coward behind my window. He wants to know what my secret ingredient is. He'll know when he pays me. 10th of June, this morning when I got to my alehouse, I saw someone had tried to break in. I know it was the blasted baker again. He'll do anything to get my secret. 11th of June, I have to close all windows when I work now if I want to be safe. Perry's always there. I know he is. I can hear him. I feel him. I wake up in the middle of the night. Each time I hear a sound, I must admit I'm afraid. 12th of June, maybe I could set traps around my house and Perry could get his foot snapped like the vile fox he is. That would teach him a lesson. Perchance he'd finally leave me alone. This is adding a lot of credence to everything that she's told us.
This is the phyto... the pokeweed. What's it doing here?
Pestle and mortar, Lucy's ghost tie, a stone mortar and pestle used to crush the fixings to flavor her ale. It has seen recent use.
This is our ghost tie, and a memory hangs on it.
As we do this, Kaz was saying that the weekend was filled with a first playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima. It was fantastic. It really is. We have a full playthrough up on that as well. It is a great game. I hope that you had a wonderful time with it. Sorry, we want to do the hearkening.
I raise for now the veil of shadows.
Harry Cottle? Is that you creeping once again? You can die first before I give you anything. Best run, Cottle. Have a stick and I'll not hesitate to use it!
She took the Vitolaka instead of the hops.
I don't know what B means in this case.
A sad fate. And a stupid death.
Afraid to lose her individuality, she lost everything instead.
Without her secret ingredient, I still can't make bread.
Harry Cottle! What are you doing in my house, you horrible little man?
Dear Lord, what work of the evil one is this? Lucy Barrow? But... you're dead. I saw your body in the alehouse. The dead return, and you are most surely a witch. Yes! Oh, this explains everything.
Oh, for the love of God, just stop your nonsense and explain what the hell you were doing in my alehouse.
I believe I'm the one who needs answers.
Oh, God! The world is ending, and the Lord must call us to him!
This is my question. And Caroluna. So, Caroluna went to bed. Caroluna had called it American pokeweed and then said that actually he thought it was something different. But no, it is. He was correct on it.
What were you doing with pokeweed, Lucy? If you knew it was poisonous.
I am a herbalist and an alewife. I make things. I have all sorts of poisonous plants. I knew Perry was spying on me, so I led him to believe I was using common weeds in place of barley. I chose pokeweed because it helps women with their monthlies.
Twisted and ingenious. I think I like you.
Perry Cottle stole from me. He found out about the poisonous plant and killed me.
Go on then, Mr. Cottle. What were you doing in the alehouse when you found Lucy dead?
I'd not seen her in a moment. I was checking she was well.
You base strain-hardy oaf. You'll not have what's mine. You were checking to make sure I was dead.
I was doing no such thing.
But you were, Mr. Cottle. You spent weeks harassing Lucy here for her recipe. You harangued her so much that in a moment of stress, she made a mistake and accidentally poisoned herself. For that, you are responsible.
Time to set the top on the right bottle, Cottle, you dundering harasser. You dwindling failure, you sneaking thief.
I never meant to. I am none of those things. She had it coming. Devil worshipper, witch, selfish woman.
Lucy Barrow, under the pretext of a demand for fair payment, you hoarded a valuable recipe.
That's right. You'd have starved us for the sake of your business. You denied the children of God their daily bread. For business, Lucy, for business. Our Lord God called you to give service to his flock, and you demanded payment?
Let her speak, Mr. Cottle.
If the Lord wished the fruits of my labour, then he should have paid me like anyone else. I worked hard for where I am today. I deserve to succeed. I worked my arse off for it, and you would have me give it away. Not a chance.
To work then. Let's do this, so it's done.
Okay. This is actually in like the top 3 hardest ones that we've done. Because here's the situation. Let's remove all context from this. Lucy was distracted. She put the poison into her own mortar, into her own pestle, and mortared it up, or whatever. Into her own mortar. Whatever. The pestle is the thing that you grind with. The thing is, she poisoned herself. She died by her own hand. It was an accident. How much responsibility does Perry Cottle owe for that? Because she was stressed out and distracted because he was lurking around and trying to steal her recipe. He was not trying to steal her ale recipe. He was not trying to steal her ale business. He was trying to get the material needed to make food for other people. And although he was probably selling it in an effort to keep his own doors open, his primary motivation seems an understandable one: to give people the food that they need to stay alive. And Lucy Barrow was saying, no, if the people want to have food, then the people can pay me money to show them how to make it without the use of barley. If you remove all of the context from this, Lucy Barrows is not a very sympathetic person. She is very openly trying to profiteer off of the suffering of others. There's very little that separates her actions from somebody who would take the cost of insulin and ratchet the price up by 600% simply because people need that to live as well. It's very difficult for me to find any sympathy for that as well. Now let's put all of the context back in. Lucy Barrows is a woman who is a business owner and a brilliant herbalist, as far as we can tell, a brilliant, very skilled at least, herbalist, who was able to experiment and find her own way around barley. And she will live and die completely unrecognized for her efforts in resolving this famine in and around New Eden, born specifically out of her gender. exclusively because she's a woman, she would not be recognized, and if she hands the secret to Perry Cottle or the governor or anybody else, then they will take full credit for it, and if she even gets a mention, it would be a nod in passing. This is not a world in which she wants to live that way. She doesn't deserve to be looked over and looked past and disregarded for the thing that she does so well, and she's decided to set a hard line. You can't have my secrets without acknowledging me, and the acknowledgement that I want is not in writing, it's not a statue, it's cash. I want money for what I do, because money buys power and prestige and everything else that it does in life, and in that way, she's 100% correct. So what do we do with this? Like right up until this sentence right here, I don't know. I don't know, because I absolutely understand what she's doing and why she's doing it and what motivates her. And there's a part of me that wants to say, well, let's just completely remove gender from the conversation, except that's not reality. That's not reality. It's not the same. Not everybody is starting at first base or second base. Perry Cottle has a lot of advantages here, and the advantages that he don't have are knowledge and practice and expertise, and he can't do what she can do with her herbs. But at the same time, she withheld her expertise and just is apparently content to watch people die. The big mystery, the big thing that I don't know here is, how does everybody... Do the people have any other source of food? And the reason that I'm asking is that maybe I should have gone around and asked the people in town, hey, how's your stomach? How are you doing? How's your food? Because if everybody's over there like, oh man, I haven't eaten in 3 days, that's a lot different than, well, we don't have bread, but this corn is sure fine. I don't know. I don't feel good about either way on this. I don't, like, her ruthless capitalism. See, the thing is, I live in a world where ruthless capitalism is absolutely destroying everything around me all of the time. At the same time, here's the thing. If their positions were reversed, if they were perfectly standing on the other side of the screen, this would be extremely easy. So I don't know that I can side with her, because the glory of Lucy Barrow does not, and see, even glory, that seems like a loaded term. The adequate and proper recognition of Lucy Barrow as being good at what she does, I don't know that that is worthy of the suffering of all of the other people that are living here, assuming that they're starving. Like, I'm coming at this with the no food means everybody starves. I don't know how true that is. Man, I wish I'd talked to other people around the town to know how bad the famine is, because nobody brought it up. Nobody talked about this. We knew the crops had withered, but it's just, it didn't really come up, man. I don't know. I have to side on the side of, like, people who would prioritize profit over the good and well-being of others. That's really difficult for me to work past. Why the hell didn't he just pay the price? I've talked a lot about her before, because I'm really serious. I haven't decided. Usually I get here and I know what I'm going to do and I want to talk it through, but here... So, Perry Cottle had the option to take the deal. He could have taken the deal. She would have told him. Let's assume it was a percentage off of every loaf of bread. He could have just chosen to do that. I wish I could ask some follow-up questions about that. 75% of the cost of every loaf of bread is a lot different than 5% off the cost of every loaf of bread. We don't know the terms of the deal. Let's assume that it was not unreasonable. And then there's the Red of it all. Like, there's Red's perspective, but I'm really trying to think of what I would do. I swear to God, I don't know, and I can't stay on this screen. So, here's the thing. I I don't know what separates her from somebody who would jack up the cost of insulin because they can, and because if people want to stay alive, they're going to have to choose that. I find that viewpoint absolutely abhorrent. I think that that's... Okay, without getting off too much on that, basically, she knows a life-saving secret, and if you want to have it, you get to pay her. Since we don't know how much she was asking in exchange for that knowledge, and I have to assume that the governor or Lammy Haskell could have vitiated that deal as being onerous for the good of the community if it was necessary. The fact that Perry Cottle never even considered paying her, simply rejected it out of hand and thought that he could get the secret by way of like espionage and just stealing it from her. I wish we knew the percentage, but since we didn't, here's the other thing. She was afraid. Okay, I just made up my mind. It comes out of the journal. She was afraid. She didn't write that journal to plant evidence against him. Remember earlier when it was like, is it possible that she's like planting the key and the poisonous page and stuff like that? She did not write that journal before her death about how she had to sneak around and lock all of her doors and windows because she was afraid of Perry Cottle. She recognized that he was desperate enough to do something dangerous. She recognized that in him, and if we know her to be a savvy businesswoman, a smart herbalist, and skilled alewife, why would we doubt her understanding of human nature? Because I don't know how you get to be a savvy businesswoman, at least, without understanding human nature. I think that he was dangerous. I think that he did push her to the brink, and I think that he's the reason that she died, and that he had the ability to pay her at any time to get her secret. Or by the way, like the thing that hasn't been entered here is go to the governor, go to Lammy Haskell, go to the community and say that she knows how to give us bread and give us food, and she's choosing not to do that. And as far as we know, he never did that. I think that we've arrived at this, and that's me coming to like what I would do. And I think that, again, Red is starting to put the position of we need to bring Antea back to life. So this is the decision that we're going to make. Yes, we're going to do this. That was really hard, you guys. I really wasn't sure coming into this. This was a really, really well-written case. Okay, here we go.
Perry Cottle, you're haunted by the ghost of the alewife Lucy Barrow. You didn't kill her, but that doesn't make you innocent.
I done nothing wrong.
You bullied her, and you spied on her, and threatened her. That seems wrong to me. You did those things, and she came back because of them. Because of you.
What else was I to do?
You could have left her alone.
It should not end like this. I should rise. I should rise.
Give them this day their daily bread.
They'll figure it out, or they'll starve.
I didn't say it aloud, but one of the other things that sort of like was in my head was, who's going to give anybody food now? Now they have neither an alewife nor a... Oh! Holy shit, please tell me I didn't forget to read this. This is new, hold on. 12th of June, from the pen of the most honorable Fairfax Haskell, my esteemed lady, Lucy Barrow, as you are now... As you are no doubt aware, New Eden is in the grip of terrible events, and for the safety of us all, I've decided to leave and take those who can travel with me. We have recently established ourselves in your area and will need your services. Indeed, I've heard of your business, and your beer is said to be of excellent quality. That's why I'm appointing you as the official alewife of the Harrows. You'll have the honor of providing our brotherhood with a comforting brew. Times are hard, but that doesn't mean we have to deprive ourselves of the good things our Lord offer us. Yours most obsequiously and sincerely, Governor Fairfax. Okay, I was worried when that came up that, like, it was going to say, oh, this terrible famine, and, you know, that it would have given more information. So we could take the bridge back, but I feel like we can probably open this from the side now. All right, I need to catch up on chat. Czar was saying that he would side with her. Ronan saying I'm not biased because... Oh, that was about, Pardon me. All right, sorry about that. Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, and Kaz had also said that Ghost of Tsushima was one of the most beautiful games played in a long time. It is a marvelous looking game. I think Rowan was also saying that he was thinking about rebuying it on PC. Yeah, that game is a real looker, and it plays so well. That was a game that I played on hard difficulty level, and there was one specific duel that I really struggled with. Okay.
Call on me.
Okay, and the enemy within is not our main quest. Which quest is this? This might have been the go investigate the thing. The enemy within. Wait, what? Oh, that we helped somebody in town. I mean, sure, we're gonna help more people in town, but we might as well go back and do this. Inner was saying, money doesn't buy you shit, it didn't buy me my health. And, sorry, did I say, goodbye to Inner? Because Inner also had to turn in. Inner, have a great night. Zara is saying that's where I stand, too. To me, it seemed like he wanted to steal her knowledge to make himself rich under the pretense of trying to feed the people. I could certainly foresee that as an outcome. It wasn't... I would feel better if we had that reflected somewhere in his, like... in his own writings or something like that. Like, but also, what we did not find is... OMG, everyone's going to starve. I can't afford the exorbitant price that she's demanding. Like, I compared it to, like, ratcheting up the cost of insulin, like 1,600% or whatever they've done in recent years. Like, that's horrible. If the cost of insulin went up in accordance with inflation, that's not as bad. I think that it should be completely free of charge, personally, but that's a conversation for elsewheres. I don't think that if you're born with something like diabetes, that you should be made to pay out of your pocket for insulin for the duration of your life, this sudden medical expense that you did nothing to earn. And by the way, if you get, I think it's called, like, is it type 2 diabetes, where, like, you get it later in life? Why should we charge for that either? Sorry, let's move on. Let's move on, because otherwise I'm going to go on a whole thing. Here, the conversation was about bread, and there is a real, like, crop shortage and food shortage here. It is eternal winter. Like, everybody's bundled up because even if this doesn't look, you know, less than temperate, it's actually really cold, especially for July. There's no growing season. There's no reaping season. The people are really in a bad way with what they have available. And also there's ghosts and the you know, reeds rot in the soil and stuff. Like, everybody's in a really bad way. So when the conversation turns to money and stuff, it just feels really ugly. But then, again, we're not we're not having a conversation about two equals. We're having a conversation about one person, the baker, who's way more equal than the other person, who's the woman. Also, she's the alewife, but mostly she's the woman, and she's not gonna get a fair shake in this world at this time or any other. So it doesn't feel right to say, oh no, you're not allowed to profiteer. That's not a decision that we get to make for everybody. We don't get to then go to the baker and say, you have to give away all your bread for free. Is it inappropriate for her to be double charging, first for her ale and second for her knowledge to get the bakery up and running? I don't think so. And the only person who we have saying that it was an unaffordable, exorbitant price is the baker that was asked to pay the cost. And just to be blunt, he did not seem like a reliable source of information.
Good day to you both. I trust you bring better news.
There were hauntings. We ended them.
Thank you. Truly. Here's to better days. Well, speaking of that, or not as the case may be, my speech is almost done. And by done, I mean written. I need an ending, a high note on which to finish. I was thinking of talking about you. Would you permit it?
Courage or patience would be a good idea. I'm gonna go with patience. I hope that that is both a good lesson, that there is hope on the way. It's less likely to inspire rebellion or, I don't know, violence under the guise of courage. And hopefully it will also reflect what Antea has been going through, which is just hold on a little longer.
People don't always trust banishers. You can speak of patience, of acceptance, of humility before the Lord.
This comes to you so easily. Were you always so eloquent?
Well, I've led men to war, and fearful men need words of courage.
Well put. I shall take it as inspiration as I return to my writing. With the added spice of your profound wisdom, I have faith that this speech will bring much succour to the company. Oh, what remains of it?
Here, the Trismegistus riddles. You can have it back. It was very helpful.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Aye, we found Grace.
I take it from your tone that she's safe. Such good news. I wonder, if I called on her, would she receive me?
I don't think so. Sorry, Lammy.
Oh. Right.
Well, Lammy, in case we don't see you, may I bid you farewell.
So, this is it? You'll return to New Eden in the meeting house?
Soon, if all goes to plan, Deborah Comenius will release her grip on New Eden.
The time has come to lift the curse. Our journey nears its end.
Do you really think Mistress Comenius is involved in all this?
We don't think it. We know it. Why?
Well, I'm no banisher, but...
I don't like the sound of this.
It's just... I gave the ghost of Deborah Comenius her assent.
What?
Tell us what happened. All of it. Quickly now.
I saw her ghost for the first time during the winter of 1693. She was crying, she looked quite lost. This was near where she died, where she was killed. Not long after that, I saw her again. Soon she was there every time I passed. She was in such despair, I had to do something.
You found some obscure ritual in another of your books, and you tried to give her her assent.
Not an assent as such, since I did not use your words of power, but I'm confident my confected ritual of expulsion was just as effective. A breach briefly opened as she vanished, and then she was gone. I never saw her again.
And when did the first signs of the curse appear?
Some months later. Oh, my. You mean... No, it can't be!
Oh, yes. You tried to help a vulnerable ghost and somehow started it all. For the very last time, Lamentation Haskell. No more experiments.
Oh, God. Farewell, young Haskell, and if I may offer some advice next time you have a bright idea, sit on it.
I was not expecting that to be the conclusion. Oh my. I know we don't face cam, but I am face palming right now. The road to hell. Czar was saying that was the reason that he came to his conclusion. The lack of evidence saying that her refusal was going to cause the death of everyone. More like the suffering of everyone. Like, I would assume that as the famine got worse, that they would either pay her requested price or force it from her by accusing her of witchcraft. That really feels like sort of the general energy at this time. And again, so it was like she was willing to put herself at substantial risk, like physical well-being risk, to try to be acknowledged for her place in history. That was a really complicated case. Let's take a quick look at what we're going to do in terms of this. 5% of health points. Ensnare gains an extra projectile. I do like the sound of that. When fusion ends, spirit points are fully restored. That's okay. Damage dealt by Entei is increased by 15% for each manifestation cooldown. I like that one slightly better. And then this one over here. Damage taken is reduced, but cooldowns are increased. Banishing enemies fuels the fusion gauge by 25%. I do like the ability of getting access. Yeah, let's start with that one. And then once we're over here, we'll probably go for the damage dealt by Antea. And then this one will probably be the Ensnare gains one more projectile once we're ready for those. Patikin's dropping a lurk, by the way. Patikin, again, thank you very much for the raid. You're probably out of earshot now, but I hope that you have a great rest of your evening. And we're going to go have a great rest of our evening. We're going to call it there. That was pretty much perfect in terms of timing. So before we end, let's just take a very quick look at what we've got left on the itinerary. If we take a look here, there are 3 cases, one of which we've apparently started a little bit. We're going to go investigate the disturbance, and then we've got 2 more. Were I to guess, that's between 2 to 3 more streams. So we are now in the, rounding out the end. Oh, and we'll have an epilogue for this as well. So yeah, I'd probably guess about 3 streams to wrap up our adventures here in Banishers. But this has just been absolutely great. Yeah, the list of things that I've noticed, that like blocking issue that I've talked about before. Red's rifle tends to get in the way of people's faces, even though as far as I could tell, the rifle is always in the same position. This is such an easy thing for in my head, it's an easy thing. In the real world, you just move the camera over 2 inches and it would be perfectly fine. In a video game, for all I know, they'd have to rewrite a third of the code to fix the placement of the camera. So it's just one of those things that I've noticed as we've gone. It's not a big issue, but it's sort of like, a curiosity. Anyway, we'll call it here. We're gonna go find somebody fun to raid. You guys, as I said earlier, I've just been like real run down the last couple of days, and this was a great opportunity to hang out, have some good haunting adventures, and then hopefully we will see you again in the days to come. But really, thank you guys very, very much. We'll see you guys again very soon, and until then, I hope you have a great night.